I'm here with Anthony Yarde. It's about time, you know. It's about time because I see what you're doing. I know Tunde very, very well, and he's told me a few stories about what happened before you were the sole boxer that he was focused on. We won't get into any of that. I'm glad you stayed though, because you look like you're a prodigious talent. I've spoken to a few different people in the game who are very, very excited about you. So, for those who don't know, who is Anthony Yarde?
Well, Anthony Yarde is not a kid anymore, but a kid that grew up in the hearts of East London, Stratford, Forest Gate. I was born in Hackney. So just a guy that's been through the same thing that everyone else in East London's growing up in. And a guy that's just trying to elevate and climb out of the little crab box.
Why boxing then, Anthony? Because most people in East London might have your narrative, might have your story, but they don't box.
Boxing was just, I feel like that's where my path was. It's like I went around in circles in different sports, but boxing was always something that I enjoyed to watch. I like the entertainment part to it. It was like almost like wrestling, but real, because there's an entertainment side to it. You know, you got your Nassim Hamid, your Mike Tyson's, guys that made it entertaining, like had character, Muhammad Ali. So it was just something that I always had interest in. Did I think I would ever do it as a profession? No. I was always good with my hands, like I could fight. I had punching power, you know how it goes, but I didn't think it would be my profession at first. But as I got older, I started to look into it properly to say, like, I can do something like that.
So what was it like when you had your first fight? When was that?
My first ever fight was early. It was either the end of 2011. Yeah, it was the end of 2011. I think around December times. It was a white collar fight, so it's similar to like professional boxing rules, but it's not. And then I had my first amateur fight shortly after that. And then yeah, within a year, I won the Box Cup, Haringey Box Cup. I knocked out everyone in the tournament as well. And yeah, the feeling of having my first fight, the first one I just wanted to see if I could do it, how I would feel putting on gloves. It's different fighting with gloves than fighting with fists. Yeah, on the road. Fighting in front of people, a camera in your face, because the first fight I ever had, people don't know this, but it was going to be shown on Eurosports. So I was nervous in a way, but then I just thought to myself, you know, it's going to be what it's going to be. No one really knows who I am yet. People box every day, I don't really care. So yeah, it was good. I got a first round knockout. It was good.
Did you link up with Tunde from the beginning, or was it a partnership that came about afterwards?
It was a partnership that came about slightly after, just before I'd done the Box Cup. So I've always had I'm good at seeing something and imitating it, because I used to watch a lot of Mike Tyson, stand in the mirror and copy him and say, I'm doing exactly what he's doing. Or I went to, my first ever boxing trainer was Tony Cisse. He took me through the amateurs. And that's the style I wanted to train in, like Mike Tyson, like slipping and bam, bam, countering, etc. And then as I got into boxing, I realised the sweet science to it. I looked at Muhammad Ali more and realised how, in early days, how he was evading punches and how he was just different. And then as I got deeper into boxing, Floyd Mayweather came about. And I was like, nah, this guy's the best at it. He don't get hit at all. So that's what I want to do. So it's like I incorporated a lot of different things into it. Roy Jones, for me, the most naturally talented boxer to live yet. So when I met Tunde, which was around 2012, early 2012, I was training with him for a bit, and then he said to me, like, he wasn't really paying me that much attention, as he had a stable of fighters. He only dealt with professionals, so I was the only really amateur that was on the amateur scene, really in the mix. And he said to me, "Have you won anything as an amateur?" So I said, "No." He goes, "Okay, I've had a lot of people that can fight, but fighting in the ring and actually training is two different things." So he goes, "You need to go and win something," because I've got a lot of fighters or whatever. So I was like, okay. So I think it was June or July, June I think, the Box Cup was. I went and done the Box Cup, knocked out everyone, came back, brought him the medal. I said, "Yeah, I won a gold." I knocked out everyone. And I started laughing. And he's like, okay. He still didn't really pay me any mind or whatever. And then we went Vegas. We went Vegas together. Me, Tunde, and two other boys. And that's where we really got to know each other properly. We was basically living together. You see different, you see characteristics come out. everyone gets angry at one point. So, you know, we become a lot closer. Then it's like trials and tribulations you go through, and then we come back. And I feel like going to Vegas as well showed me a different light to boxing. I was like, these guys ain't that big. It's not that different. I always thought that in my mind anyway. I was thinking to myself, whatever level I get to, I'm a standout. That's what I'm going to be, I'm going to be a standout. So actually going to America and seeing it, the main thing was getting to see like Floyd Mayweather train, see his work ethic. And then surprisingly, the people in his gym, their work ethic was nothing like his. So I was like, that's something I have to look at. I have to look at that. And
That's surprising?
It did surprise me, but it's not something that's easy to do. Like I'm trying to do my own thing now, and people can't do what I do. So it's like it's a similar thing. So I believe it's a mentality. You have to have a certain mentality to be a boxer that wants to be the best. Saying you're going to be the best is one thing, and then doing it is another thing. So you just work towards that.
Talk to me about the next 4 years then, because you've gone obviously from linking with Tun in 2012 to, I think you've had one fight this year, right? Yeah, one fight this year, and you're 10-0. Got a Southern Area title fight coming up in a couple of weeks. Before we get to that, talk to me about the 4 years of development and honing your skills as a fighter. How's that been?
That's been, for me, the best bit yet. I'm a person that I'm just obsessed with progression and becoming better. So that's why you get some fighters, they win a fight or they win a title, they get complacent, they start doing like God knows what. But me, I'm the kind of person, the more I win, I want more. I want more of that feeling. So I've won this fight. How would it feel if I win in another fight? How would I feel when I win a world title? So it's like, it's a thing that keeps me grounded. So my progression stages at this stage, for me, it's just been relieving. You know, as I said, going to Vegas, we was training, I could say we was over-training at that stage. We didn't care about jet lag. we got off the plane, went straight to the gym. So it's things you go through and it makes you mentally strong. So I think to myself sometimes, when I'm tired, I'm like, I shrug my shoulders, I'm like, I've been through worse than this. Like, I've pushed myself to limits beyond. So my main stages of the early is using because I'm very, very hard-headed, I'm very stubborn. So I say, when I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. So I feel like that stage, the stage I'm at now, has been a lot of progression. So I'm happy with the first 4 years.
Yeah, your last knockout against Darren Snow, looked a bit brutal. I'm told there's power in both hands. Is that what it is?
Yeah. I would like to think I hit hard. I've always had that mentality from young as well. In school, I was the strongest. When I went to after school kids club, I was the strongest. I went to my friend's house, I'm the strongest. I went to my cousin's house, I'm the strongest. And age, I didn't care about age either. I had that mentality. I wasn't ever a troublemaker or anything like that, but I'll say to myself, I always wanted to wrestle my older cousin. I always wanted to have a press-up competition with my older cousin and my older siblings. I partly have my older cousin to thank for that as well. He had that kind of mentality as well, but he went on a different route. He went to prison and things like that. But because he was big, I used to, when I see him doing press-ups, I used to sit next to him and do press-ups as well. So I had that mentality of, I used to hear him talk sometimes and he'd be like I'm this, I'm that. I'm this, I'm that. So I'd be like, well, I'm this, I'm that. So it's like, it's friendly competition, but it's like it raised me to say, whatever I'm around, I'm going to be better than it.
So it's building you up, really?
It's building me up.
I mean, you said siblings. You got brothers, sisters?
I've got 2 sisters and 1 little brother on my mum's side. On my dad's side, I've lost count of how many kids he's got, if I'm honest. But when growing up, it was another sister and another brother. And then along the line, I don't know how much kids he's had since then.
They'll support what you're doing?
Yeah, definitely. Even on my dad's side, they come to my fights. Sometimes, obviously, when you're growing up, you know, it's like up and down. But as you get older, you become an adult. It don't matter what your parents say anymore. I'm in control of my life. You know, you grow up. You kind of show your parents to act like an adult. Forget the problems you had in the past, move on, and then go forward.
Southern Area title. What'd you make of the opponent?
My opponent, I haven't really looked at him or anything like that. There's been a bit of friendly banter.
Online.
Just he went on Box Nation. He was just saying how I've never been in a fight with anyone like him, etc. It's just boxing talk. I've just said to myself, to me, you're just another opponent. We've been both respectful to each other. He's a respectful guy. He's got kids. I haven't got no kids, but he's got kids and a family. But me, I think he's on one level. I'm looking at a whole different level. So I take that mind frame into the boxing as well. So I think it's, in my mind, this is just between me and my head. I see it as a disrespect for you to say you're gonna do this to me, or you're gonna take me to that round. So in my mind, I'm just saying to myself, we're waiting to fight now. So my little friendly banters, I've been saying to him, not saying to him, but I've been saying like, Chris Hobbs, his name is Chris Hobbs. I like hobnob biscuits, you know. So anyone at home, you can get your tea, get your biscuits. You can eat your hobnobs. I'll have the meat in the ring. So it's like, it's a little friendly battle. You know, he's been saying what happens when he punches me, and when after the fourth round he's still there, he's not going nowhere. I just say to everyone, tune into BT Sports, tune into Box Nation, and watch the fight and see what happens.
Talking about Box Nation, I know Frank Warren taking you under his wing. Yeah. That must be a positive thing from your point of view, that a man of that stature is backed you, supported you.
100%, 100%. When I done the box cut in 2012, Steve Bunce was there. He came to me, he said, "You're a stand-up fighter." He's never seen anyone with such explosive strength, and he started asking me questions about my fighting background. I told him, he didn't believe me, and he goes, "You ever thought of turning professional?" And I said, "At this stage, no. I'm just working on my craft." And then he said, "Frank Warren will love you." I just pushed that to the side, because that's what in the beginning I thought a lot of people are going to say things to you to try and influence your decision. But then lo and behold, you can't move out the way of your lake is gonna take you to the same destination. So Tunde has a great relationship with Frank Warren. So again, when I cemented with Tunde, because that's what I see it now, we're cemented together. Tunde said to me, "You're ready to turn professional?" I said, "No, I'm not." He said, he left it another 3 months. He said, "You're ready to turn professional?" I said, "No, I'm not." So then it got to a point now where mentally I was ready, and I said to Tunde, I was coming one day, I said, "Let's turn professional." And he goes, "I'm going to set up a meeting with Frank Warren." And then now we're here.
You're fighting on the Gervonta Davis, Liam Walsh bill, which is obviously going to get a lot of attention because of the Mayweather association. Gervonta is a champion. Liam Walsh is no mug, he'll come to fight. That's going to be a different level of exposure. You ready for that?
Definitely. I feel like I was even thinking about this the other day, and every stage to your career is another piece of elevation. So I asked for this. So when it comes now, I can only thank God, show appreciation by working extra hard. I'm not going to cry and complain and say to myself, oh, this stage is a bit big or anything. I thought in my 8th professional fight, I went to America and fought on the undercard of Canelo versus Smith in the AT&T Stadium. That stadium's considerably bigger than Wembley. So even looking at Wembley on TV, it looked massive. So AT&T Stadium, when you actually sit inside of the arena and you hear the noise, it's almost vibrating. Even though I thought the first fight, sometimes that's more daunting because the arena's empty. It's just cameras. You can see everybody. So I could see Frank Warren there. I could see certain people. I saw Bernard Hopkins. I could see Tunde's face. You can see everybody. You can hear everyone's voice as well. So it's like that for me was a point of controlling all your emotion, controlling the atmosphere, controlling everything. So that was a big learning stage for me. So the stage coming up, even though there's probably going to be more people, for me that's better.
With so much attention on this country because of the boxing champions that we had, obviously the big event at Wembley the other day, you're kind of learning and no one's really focusing on you. Yeah. Is that a good thing or a bad thing from your perspective?
I would say everything's good. And I feel like everything's timing, and my path is my path. And so far, and it's going to continue to go this way, positive mind, you've got to always think positive. is everything for me has just been timing. I came into boxing for me at the right time. I won the Box Cup at the right time, turned professional at the right time, had certain fights at the right time. So the attention that boxing is getting right now, for me again, is at the right time. I'm going into the stages where I'm fighting for my first title. Everything for me, the first of everything has been special to me. So my pro debut, I said to myself, I want to win by knockout. I accomplished it. My first fight abroad, I said I want it to be in America. Again, like certain things that have happened, people are like, oh, how has that happened? Like, he's had no amateur background. He didn't go to Olympics. He didn't even go to the ABAs. He didn't even win no ABAs or nothing. So my first of everything has been, for me, at the roof. My sponsors, I'm sponsored by Maxi Muscle, the best nutritional company in England. I've got Box Nation behind me. I'm signed to Frank Warren for my first professional fight without having any other fights before that. I've got, for me, the best trainer in the world, Tunde Ajayi. People always say, this person's got that ranking as a trainer. But for me, Tunde Ajayi is the best trainer in the world. So far, everything's just been fantastic.
Let's assume you win that title, because I've interviewed enough boxers to know that they don't think any other way. So you've already won the title in your mind. I know you've got to go and do it. How do the next 10 fights go? What are the targets? What are the ambitions for that period of your career?
Well, targets and ambitions, that's something I really keep tuned into myself. And I work towards it day by day. But all I'm focused on right now is May 20th, I'm winning that Southern Area title. And then I take each fight as it comes. I think a lot of fighters do that. I've got a image in my head of where I want to get to, but every stage to get to that stage is one stage at a time. It's like building blocks. You don't get a box of Lego and just do that and it all goes together. You got to take one piece at a time and pull it on top and pull it on top and pull it on top and make sure it's secure as well. Sometimes you try and put things on too quick and then there's a piece that's lopsided or ain't fitted properly and then the whole thing falls over. So just take your time, place each piece bit by bit, make sure it's cemented in the right place, build a good base as well, and then build up to the top, and then at the top there's only one.
You're a light heavyweight. Light heavyweight. Andre Ward territory, my friend. That's been inspiring now. Looking to see a champion like that owning it and seeing what he's done in his career and the way that, he won his last fight especially.
100%. Andre Ward, my respect levels for him are so high because he's done things against the odds again. And all the champions that I see today and in the past, I see them as templates. So you see them as what they've done. I look at little things to say, what could they have done different? Even someone like Floyd Mayweather, even though his path was his path, and he'll probably say he wishes he didn't do it any other way because of what he's done in the sport. But he's trying to teach his younger fighters now to make little adjustments to not make the same mistakes he made. Do I think he would have been the person he is now without doing the things he did? No, because that was his path. So I'm looking at them legendary champions and looking at how they did things and looking at their path, at the same time realising that my path's different from everybody else's. Same way Mike Tyson and Customer had their route, Roy Jones and his dad had their route, Muhammad Ali and his trainer had their route, and all the routes are different. Every single route was different and they all got their name at the end of the day, so my route's going to be my route. That's the way I see things.
I'm getting to the back end of the interview now. What's life like away from boxing? What interests Anthony Yarde aside from punching people in the head, TKOs, KOs, and all of that good stuff?
Well, life for me is just great, literally, and that's what I keep in my head. I just want to be happy. Putting boxing aside, putting family life aside, or all the things you strive for, happiness for me is key. So sometimes, even when I'm in training, you see me like laughing, giggling. Even though I'm sweating and I'm working hard, we're having fun. Tunde will even tell you as well, I've drilled this into him. We're having fun. Like, no matter what we're doing, we're having fun. Fighting out, we're having fun. So that's my main thing is to just have fun. I go out and play basketball with my friends. We have little friendly. We make it fun by betting with each other. Little £5 bets. We've even gone as low as having £2.50 bets. It's just friendly banter, bragging rats. So it's just about having fun.
I'm asking that because my missus, as I tell her every interview I'm doing, and she's gone, nah, he's a pretty one, isn't she? I've gone, I don't know about all that. She's gone, nah, babe, like, has he got a girl? I said, I don't know. And I'm going to ask him though, babe. Is that what you're saying? Ask him. So, woman, missus, any time for that? Because listen, no time.
For me, it's like, I've been through the stages of having girlfriends, etc. I was with a girl that she was with me from, I think, around my first amateur fight stages. What I wanted to do was build with her. That's, you know, everyone has things that they want and the way they want things to go. But one thing I learned along the way is women bring, or can bring, stress. Especially when you're young and immature. Everyone's immature. Especially when you're young, immature, inexperienced as well. And certain lifestyles. So when you're used to something, when you're used to arguing with somebody, or you've gone from relationship to relationship, you find yourself continuing that cycle. So sometimes you need time to yourself. Like me and my ex-girlfriend, we separate from each other. She's doing what she's doing, I'm doing what I'm doing. And it's like, I've got time to myself. And I feel like that's what I'm not even saying it's everything to do with her, but since I've got time to myself and to sleep by myself, have my own time, have my own space, and concentrate and give energy to what I want to do in life, I feel like everything's just elevated 10 times faster. Everyone, from what we know for a fact, in terms of life on earth, we get one. That's the only thing we know as a fact. Some people believe in life after, but as Anthony Yarde, I got one life, one chance. 2 years ago, I was 23. So it's like the years go on and don't wait for nobody. So these times, 25, 26, 27, these are 3 years that I need to just especially zone into myself, get to at least a little level of where I want to get to, or even surpass that.
I can imagine that you are going to have a lot of female fans, my friend, which is a good thing because it's always nice to go to boxing and see women in the crowd. I don't like the whole heap man thing myself, but you know. Before we wrap this up then, if you could predict the next 12 months, this is a question I always ask every sports person I interview. If you could predict the next 12 months and they went perfectly, how would it go for Anthony Yarde? Anthony
Yarde would be a world champion. He'd be a millionaire.
I'm talking about realistic goals, but yo, you're shooting high.
He would have went against all the odds, and then sometimes like what I've done as well. That's what you're saying is high, but what I've done is I've always set above what I think is realistic, and then what's happened has always been what's realistic. Do you get it? So it's like if I set for what's realistic, I might just underachieve what I wanted to do. So I always say to myself, in 2 years, I want to unify a belt. And then what will happen within 2 years, 9 times out of 10, I might become a world champion. If I say within a year I'm going to become a world champion, I might be at British level. So it's like, it's about having in your mind what's reality, but shooting for something a bit higher, so then it gives you that extra drive.
Thanks for your time, sir. Appreciate it.